So I have sickle cell anemia and thalassemia. That's my diagnosis. Sickle cell major and beta thalassemia minor. That's a whole mouthful. So what this means is that my blood cells, normally red blood cells are round. Mine are like a crescent moon shape. So they don't carry enough iron, enough oxygen. And as they flow, they tend to clump together, get tangled, clot. So we suffer from a lot of joint pain, fatigue, lack of oxygen. Because sickle cell is a rare disease, it's almost like the doctor's last go-to to test for it. So it took a while to diagnose. When I started school, that increased the physical demands placed on my body. And I used to complain from abdominal pain, headaches, dizziness. And my mom would tell me, no, you're too small, you don't know what headaches are. And I got really sick, forcing them to take me to a doctor. He picked up that I had a large spleen. So your spleen is the organ that filters out your red blood cells. Because mine is irregular shaped, they die off quicker than the normal blood cells. So the spleen is overactive. I always used to wonder, why am I not like the other kids? Why can't I do this? I couldn't do any physical activity because it would risk the spleen getting ruptured. And also I never had the energy for it. So my days at school, I'd start off very happily going to school in the morning. By the afternoon, I would end up in the sick room in school. That was daily, every day. Also, the teachers never understood because they never heard of it before. So even though I was the child and they're the adults, I had to always know more and be explaining it. You tailor your whole life around this illness. You have to dietary, you have to eat the right foods. So luckily, growing up, I was able to understand it more. And see, okay, you know what, these are the changes I need to make and be responsible enough to make those changes. So what sickle cell, it varies from one person to another. I see some people have it worse while they're smaller and some in adulthood. And I think it was definitely worse growing up. And now that I've adjusted and made those lifestyle changes, it's much better. There are still some days where, the pain is so bad, and I had to sort of realize that, okay, some days if all you can do is breathe, it's okay. Rare diseases for me, it's like a safe haven. It's like a platform where we can meet other people, be encouraged to share our story in a safe place. I definitely found that, we're stronger together. And it's just created so much awareness. I can share it on social media platforms. My friends share it as well. And just encourage that visibility for the disease, where people can, understand that, okay, different, but yeah, still normal. I would tell them that they definitely need to be their own hero. They need to be aware of their limitations, but know that it doesn't define who they are. And they need to know and focus more on their capabilities. Celebrate every win. All the small wins, they actually lead to the big ones. So yeah, always celebrate those small wins and be patient with yourself. I think with all rare diseases, the importance of genetic counselors, and just to know that they are important. They sort of bridge that gap between the doctors and the patient, or the doctor and the patient's family. So just being that support, preparing the patient or the family for what's to come, that can make a huge impact so they don't feel like they're alone. And also increase about blood donations. Even with sickle cell, a lot of patients need monthly blood donations. And I think people of the public, sometimes they're so distant from it that they don't realize that it is literally saving a life. That 50 mils that you're not even going to feel, you can also just save a person's life.